So this week we have a girl who's going crazy for Darth Vader, we have Han Solo fighting off some baby Sarlaccs, and we have Dr. Aphra who inadvertently starts a revolution on Milvain. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Starrapter, and as always I'm super excited to talk to you guys about everything Star Wars, specifically, usually the comics, novels, TV series, and anything else that ties into the continuity. That's right, this week we have 3 different comics. We have the first one I'm going to talk about is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, issue number 1. Now this is part 1 of a mini-series that is tying in to the opening of the Disneyland and Disney World theme parks coming later this year, actually just starting next month, so getting very close. And we have sort of an anthology of stories which revolves around a character that is going to be in the park. His name is Dok-Ondar, and he is a character that was mentioned briefly in Solo: A Star Wars Story. And well, this specific issue opens up in present day where you're going to be in Batuu, and they have the First Order arriving there. Then we have these kind of mercenary smugglers who are going into Dok-Ondar's den of antiquities, which you're going to be able to visit in the park, and they are trading money for information. And while they're there, they spot a baby Sarlacc, and they're like, hey, look at that thing. And next thing you know, we go into a flashback of how that got to be a part of Dok-Ondar's shop of horrors, I guess you can call it. And well, it has to do with Han Solo and Chewbacca. So this is before the events of A New Hope. They are doing their whole smuggling kind of racket, and they are tasked with this mission by Dok-Ondar to get these baby Sarlaccs. So this is an awesome story because first off, I never even realized that, Sarlaccs can be so tiny. So Han Solo thinks, oh, this is going to be a pretty easy job, and it definitely isn't. He goes there looking for this certain person, and well, we can't find that person. We literally find out that they are actually killed by the Sarlaccs, and they are basically Chewie and Han Solo are basically, they get surprised by these guys who end up trying to feed them to the Sarlacc and steal the Millennium Falcon. Well, that's not going to happen with Han Solo, and there's quite a few action pieces in there with the larger Sarlaccs and the baby Sarlaccs who can actually move around. And by the end of this, we do get, obviously, the Sarlacc, because that's how it ended up there in the first place. So this issue was so cool. I really love the idea about these Sarlacc pits and how they're infants and about how they can actually move around, and they're taking out all these bad guys, these Dowutins, or whatever they're called, Dowutin, Dowutins. I think that's what they're, the big Gungar looking dudes. So yeah, you see Han Solo in action with this force pike thing, and then you see Chewie just causing havoc with his bowcaster. But I also really enjoyed the whole aspect of Galaxy's Edge, the land of Black Spire on Batuu, and about how it's, just intricately designed so that all those buildings represent places you can actually go inside of the parks. And this is a great tie-in material for that if you want to find out about all these little objects that they're going to have. And the next issue we see that we have Greedo. I don't know if we've ever gotten a Greedo canon story. That's going to be pretty awesome. So I like the idea that they set up all these artifacts with different characters that we know. And overall, I'm very impressed. I was actually more impressed with this book than I thought I would be. So definitely check out Galaxy's Edge issue number 1. Moving over to another fun one. This is Vader Dark Visions issue number 3. This is also another anthology series. So each one of these are their own standalone kind of tale. Now this one is all about Darth Vader and romance. And we have this one character. She is a nurse. She is aboard the Death Star. She is attending to Darth Vader when he gets injured. Different things, cybernetics, right? Get damaged, lots in battle. So she's always there with the doctor. And well, she's a little bit crazy for Vader, and that's putting it lightly, because she is obsessed with Vader beyond belief for no real good reason. She's collecting different parts of his suit and keeping them away in her bedroom. She brushes with Darth Vader in the hallway, and she starts going nuts, fangirling out. She has these visions of her with Darth Vader, dancing, different things like this illusions of grandeur. And eventually throughout this issue, we find out the Doctor finds out about this obsession with Vader. He throws away all of her stuff. Then she's going into the garble disposal unit that we see in A New Hope and looking for that stuff. And she even goes as far as to try to get into Darth Vader's quarters, which she does. And, well, he's waiting there, and as she, tells him that she loves him, basically, he just stabs her with his lightsaber, and that's just how this story ends. So another great one-shot story in this little anthology of Darth Vader stories. We start with Darth Vader as a hero. We start with Darth Vader as an absolute presence, which you want to get away from. Then we start from, let's say there's some characters that actually love Darth Vader for whatever reason. So overall, I thought this was really comedic, but also really tragic and really sad for this character. And again, it's nice to see that we have other departments in Star Wars that aren't just soldiers, right? We have the nurses of the Empire. Gives a little bit more humanity to the characters. But overall, I'm just loving this anthology of Darth Vader stories, so I'm looking forward to issue number 4. So moving on to the last issue this week, we have Dr. Aphra, issue number 31. This is part 6 of Worst Among Equals, and this is arguably the best arc in Dr. Aphra. This arc has been phenomenal, so we leave off on this cliffhanger where we have 000 walking away. He has learned about his origins, he was a mistake, he just takes that off in stride and just walks away. Remember, we have the proximity bombs between him and Dr. Aphra, where they were put there by Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba. It's this cruel act of reality TV in Star Wars that is put together. Everybody's seeing through the lens of 000. Everybody on Milvain is watching this incredibly loyal Imperial state in the galaxy. And, well, that's where we leave off. They're walking away. Dr. Aphra, she has fallen down from the speeder crash. She can't really use her legs, so she is powerless, screaming for help, trying to get any sense into the crazy protocol droid of 000. And, well, she is able to just last minute hack into BT, who thought was decommissioned, and BT makes a noise, and that is 000's buddy in crime. And, well, that's the only thing that gets 000 from walking away. From that point on, we do have the characters on their way to find this crypto surgeon guy that is going to remove the bombs. They luckily find out that this little girl that had betrayed him before the Empire is back, and she's kind of feeling sorry that she betrayed him. So they do go on her big beast and get there very quickly, only to find out that this guy is off planet. Plus, they get surrounded by stormtroopers because this entire time we have the Imperial propaganda team who has been spying on this planet, trying to get this planet under control, because all these people of this loyal Imperial colony are basically just sitting around watching TV and getting their judgment skewed by what is going on with Dr. Aphra and her escapades. So what happens next is then we have Tampazla, who starts going crazy because, remember, he has like the Force spores. Yeah, this story is so crazy, so zany, but I love it. He's causing havoc with the stormtroopers. Time is about to run out on Dr. Aphra, and next thing you know, the last couple seconds, we think the bombs are going to go off. There's not enough time. And we go and we cut to Win, Loss, and Knock, the hunters that were going to kill Dr. Aphra. Next thing you know, they are actually at Dr. Evazan's place, and they actually have this crypto surgeon with them who ends up deactivating the bombs remotely from the location of where Dr. Evazan is. So it's an absolutely ridiculously on the edge of your seat moment. Complete suspense I didn't see coming, and holy crap, that was exciting. So suspenseful. I love that moment. Just absolutely nailed it. Everybody involved in this team is doing an incredible job, both from the artwork as well as the writing. When we get to the point where BT and Dr. Aphra and 000, and we get to the point where 000 is actually saying that Dr. Aphra is a friend. At one point, Dr. Aphra is actually holding her hand on 000 as they're about to die with the bomb going off. It was just this magical moment of this maniac droid who is crazy, who's killing everybody, and they have this kind of tender moment between inorganic and organic creature to have that kind of relationship that has been built up over 31 issues, or actually even before that, because they were featured first in Darth Vader. Yeah, this is an incredible moment in comics history for Star Wars, and I don't say that lightly, because this really pulled at my heartstrings more than I expected to from a comic that is, for the most part, very zany, very out of this world, not too serious at moments, but this moment definitely hit me hard. And then we have BT and we have 000 going off there saying, "Good luck, friend," and well, Dr. Aphra, mind you, I forgot this whole moment, when she actually sacrifices herself for the kid that saved them, jumps in front of a laser blast from Tampazla, takes the brunt of the damage. She appears to be alive. I'm assuming she's going to be alive because there's going to be an issue number 32. But that is pretty much how we leave off on this issue. Plus, we have this head of propaganda, this one minister who is actually reporting directly to the Emperor. She doesn't know Dr. Aphra's actual identity, but, you know, she's trying to get this planet under control because Dr. Aphra, through sacrificing herself, in front of this child has inspired the people of Milvain to rise up against their imperial captors and just actually make a revolution. And it's out of control. You know, this minister can't keep it under control with the imperial propaganda at this point. And well, now she's reporting it back to the emperor, and that's kind of where this issue, kind of where this entire arc leaves off. But just overall, phenomenal arc, bringing together all these different pieces that we've been meaning, you know, like Win-Loss Sanhok. I love that moment of them being there saying that this is actually worth it, being that Dr. Aphra wasn't worthy of their hunting abilities as monster hunters. So overall, just a phenomenal issue, man. Dr. Aphra, I hope this series doesn't end anytime soon, because this is something that I look forward to every month, probably more than just about any other comic book series besides the Star Wars mainline. This is excellent stuff. If you haven't jumped on board with Dr. Aphra, what are you waiting for? This stuff is awesome. And moving to the question of this week, brought to me on Twitter from James M. the Crazy Gamer Historian 1999 at Rabbit McCormick. He asks, Star Wars Weekly, should Dave Filoni run Lucasfilm in the future and be president as well as director for all future films? This is a great question that has been brought up in the community of Star Wars for quite some time now. You know, there's a lot of people that are not content with Kathleen Kennedy. People are saying that, hey, if she leaves, who would replace her? And I think that is a great point. We got to get Dave Filoni in there to control things. I mean, you look at what they are doing in the MCU, right? Endgame is just about to come out. It's coming out as soon as this video goes live, pretty much. And we have Kevin Feige, who is in that creative position, but he's also, you know, the head of the MCU for the most part, I'm pretty sure, but he's also very creatively involved. A lot of people would argue that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't seem as that into the creative aspect as ones might believe compared to somebody like Kevin Feige. So you have somebody who's, you know, Dave Filoni. He is the first person that has learned from George Lucas with all his knowledge being passed down from his work on the Clone Wars. So a lot of people think of him as like the heir apparent to George Lucas. Like this guy he was the Padawan of George Lucas. So who better to actually steer the ship for Lucasfilm than the guy that is closest to the person that started all this stuff to begin with? So I totally agree that, yeah, Dave Filoni, now it's up to him. I mean, maybe he doesn't want to be in a leadership role. I mean, he's got his foot in a lot of different things right now. Mandalorian, the Clone Wars, Resistance he's involved with. So I don't know if he's ready to take on this overarching umbrella of the entire franchise and you know, stuff like that. As far as a director for all future films, I don't think that's even possible for anybody, really. You can't be a director on every film that comes out. It's just, nobody has time for that, especially if they're going to, you know, be present and all that. So, from a creative standpoint, I would like to have him have some kind of position where he oversees everything, because everything he has touched so far has been gold. Like the Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance, all that stuff has great connective tissue. I cannot wait to see what he does with the Mandalorian. I've already seen little bits and pieces thanks to Celebration, and I can say rest assured that show is going to be amazing from what I've seen so far. So yeah, easy. Yes, let's get Dave Filoni in there as soon as we can. Who knows? I mean, Kathleen Kennedy could be there for, you know, after episode 9. We don't know. I'm perfectly content with what she has been doing, because really every movie has been great. All the shows have been great. But people, I don't know, they just don't like her. So anyway, if you guys like this kind of content, you can get your questions into me on Twitter using hashtag Star Wars Weekly, or you can actually comment in the comment section down below this video, Star Wars Weekly, with your Star Wars question. So next week we can look forward to Star Wars issue number 65, Age of Rebellion Han Solo number 1, and Flight of the Falcon issue number 1, I think might finally come out next week. Crossing my fingers, because I really like this Galaxy's Edge content that has been coming to us in the last couple weeks. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I love talking about Star Wars, and I would love for you guys to join in on this discussion simply by subscribing. That is going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.